So, Erika, there is something I really like the way you are explaining to your beginner students to choose the tool because most of the time they are lost in, they don't know very well to ask the question to find out it's an issue, a young issue. What tool do I have to start with? And you told me something I like. I would really want to integrate also in some courses.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a rule of thumb or something to help them with a guide, right? Because when people are beginning, in fact, they're a little bit shy. They wonder if they're doing it right, or, if it's a yang indication and you use a yang tool, are you going to hurt somebody, or, all those kind of things. Because, I mean, it's quite a kind of a complex
Yes, at the
situation when you're beginning.
Yeah, sure.
So, what I kind of found out was with beginner students during the assessment process is that if you find an area or a zone that is not pliable, say for example, or it requires a little love, if you will.
Yes, it's a good way.
What are you going to do about it, or how do you know you've done enough work, or what do you need to do? So
Yes.
I came up with this rule of thumb called the 3-tool minimum.
Yeah, 3-tool minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good way, of saying it.
Yeah. So because we're in the business of auto regulation, in fact, it's not so wrong to use a yang tool to boost the energy of the area, to bring more blood flow, and then use a yin in order to disperse it to the rest. In fact, it's very much so like the garden analogy that we use.
Yes.
When you come to a place in your garden that doesn't match the rest of the garden, what are you going to do to help it? To rejoin the tools. Maybe you use a rake or whatever the case may be. And so then you use your yang and your yin. And then I use what I call like a sculpting tool, something that helps you reshape or help
like
that
the beauty
zone.
brush or the
A
ova
small
bar.
brush or ova bar, even the little rake, depending upon the size of zone that you're working on. And so then it helps to rejoin the face.
To rejoin the face. I like this. I don't know how we are going to say it in French or in Spanish, but in English it works. To rejoin the face. It's true that sometimes you have a place like the chin, typical, no, that you discover a new texture. You don't even know that you had this bumpy, and it's true that it's like if it was separated from the face and you are rejoined. I like it.
Yeah, well, because if the face is a reflection of your whole body, it could be indicating a zone in your body that is a little bit less fed or whatever the case may be. So the students have found themselves a lot more empowered to understand that they have a goal.
Yes.
They're looking for something and they know when they've achieved it.
It's a very good strategy to help them to start and not to get lost. Fantastic. I hope it will be useful for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. You're doing great.
Fantastic. By the way, we receive also many emails, questions from students that are beginning the practice that the patients have a adverse reaction many times. It's common, isn't it? And so they're a bit frightened about this because they think, oh, I did something, he was happy, and the day after the pain was big, or he had a spot or something. And I like the way you explain it also when you talk about this detox reaction. Explain me a bit more about this.
Well, in fact, it goes with the theory of elimination versus suppression. So a lot of people are used to the concept of suppression, that when I take a pill, everything just stops, right? And instead, we're encouraging elimination. And so, in fact, the results of the following 2 days is also a really good thing to understand when the person comes back for their follow-up, because it can indicate what areas of the body in fact need to detox and eliminate toxins out of their body. And that's such a benefit of the natural therapies, is it encourages the body to actually get rid of the thing versus just pretend it's not there. And so in fact it's natural, but the reason why we want to know if it's there is to maybe, because of course the symptoms can be unpleasant, so maybe we did a little too much, or it helps us gauge our treatment, in fact.
Yes, I always advise them also to do very light treatment if they want just to get rid of the main pain, to drink water also, because it's just to make everything eliminate. Use the Reflexdrainage. It's a good way also to eliminate all these toxins. And yes, it's a detox.
Well, that's in fact why
rebalance.
Yeah, no, for sure. And the 12 morning massages are also really good to help the person detox. You can use your baking soda and Epsom salt baths. There's many things that can help the person encourage, staying away from heavy fats, heavy protein meals.
Sugar.
Yeah, so your body can eliminate those things in a much more pleasant fashion, staying away from cold water, using a little bit more warmer water. So, I mean, sometimes we don't know if the person's going to detox or not. So we have to, it's a little education with the client, not to scare them, but hey, sometimes
this is what we really want to teach, is to tell our student, our practitioners, to give advice that don't be afraid. Okay, don't worry, but you do a session, but then the patient has to be active, has to learn also to do the homeworks, what we call the homeworks. So that's use just one tool to do a Reflexdrainage or to roll the place it was painful, and they will see that. That means that things are moving. So it's good.
It's a good thing, in fact. It's a good thing. And I mean, you think that sometimes just working on reflexes or, working on weird parts of the body, talking to the body, you think, surely this can't be happening. But in fact, it's so powerful when you start changing the communication of the brain with the body.
Completely. Good. I hope that helps also.
Yeah, me too.
Let's continue and let's go up there.
Okay,
it's nice view.
Good.